So what are we doing today?
Going on a date.
Before that?
We were building a chicken milker.
Alright guys, so apparently we're building a chicken milker today. No, we're actually building a goat milking stand, or a goat stanchion, whatever you want to call it. But basically a platform with a little head gate built onto it that we're going to be able to use to put the goats in when we need to work them or give them medications or shots or trim their hooves, or when they get pregnant and all that, milk them. So it'll be a tool that we're going to be able to use here for a while. So we're going to get that built today because our big buck Winston, we need to get something to hold him so I can look at his hooves and get him checked and everything. But that's what we're going to be doing today, not a chicken milker. So I just went out and got a couple pieces of 2x4 and some 1x4s and some screws and all that. But it's going to be simple build. We're going to use this, and since the goats are going to be on it, rubbing against it, whatever, I didn't want to get pressure treated wood because of the chemicals that they put in it to pressure treat it. So this is just unpressure treated, just regular wood. So we're gonna start by making a frame for the platform that they're gonna be able to stand on. Well, here's what it's gonna look like. So there you can see it's gonna be a little platform with a little head gate, and a little place to put a feed bucket to keep them distracted while we are working them and everything like that. Alright guys, so I have everything set up. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna make the platform for the bottom before I get to making the head gate part. But I'm going to make it 24 inches wide by 48 inches long, just to make sure it's going to be big enough to hold even the bigger goats like Winston and stuff like that. So I'm going to get everything measured up and get it cut, and then we're going to put that together. Alright guys, so it is hot in the shed. We're going to step outside to do this next part, building the platform and everything. It's weird how it gets really cold sometimes, and then other days it's just blazing hot. I mean, I guess it's not too hot, but it's pretty hot to me. But we're going to just do it out here in the shade underneath this little shelter thing. We're going to do it out here. We're going to put that platform together. Alright guys, so there is the main platform, and the legs I made 20 inches tall. That should be okay for them to be able to jump up there and everything. And then again, it is 2 feet wide and 4 feet long. So that's it. So the next part we got to get done now is we got to get the platform part put on, and then go ahead and start building the head gate part. So let's go ahead and get that part done. Alright guys, so yes, I'm gonna complain about it being hot again because it is hot. But you might have seen Valerie, that's her name by the way. You see her in the video, but her name's Valerie. You might have seen her just now leave in the video. I don't know if she was in the shot or not, but anyway, she just left to go get us a couple more of these 1x4s here because as you see, we only got about halfway done. So my calculations were a little bit off when I measured for everything earlier when we went and got the wood this morning. But she's going to get that now, so when she gets back, I'm going to go ahead and just slap this thing together real quick as far as finishing these platform pieces. And then I'm going to get back with you guys and we're going to go ahead and start the head gate part. I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're going to be doing with that and everything. Alright guys, well there it is so far. So as you can see, we finished the platform and we actually tweaked the legs in the front here so that they stuck up farther than the platform so that we had a little bit of extra support for the head gate area that we're gonna build next. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that part done. Let's see, while she went and got the 1x4, oh yeah, here's another thing I did. So underneath here I built these little supports just to make sure that the legs don't wobble whenever the goats are on there, and I'm gonna do the same thing to the front here. And I'm probably going to do that first real quick, put the supports up here that I forgot to put on before I put the platform on top. It would have made it a lot easier, but I'm going to put the supports down under here just like on this side. I'm going to put some supports and then we're going to start making this head gate, and I'm just going to show you guys the whole process of that, and then afterwards I'll kind of explain what exactly I did. Alright, so this here is underneath the milking stand or goat stanchion, whatever. But anyways, as you can see on the left here, I put these supports to kind of help support the legs, and over here I'm gonna do the same thing. It's just one of these pieces of wood here. It was a foot long piece of 2x4 that I cut 45-degree angles onto, so that basically it'll be able to fit like this against this part like that and help support it. And then the other one, obviously I made two of them. So this one here is just gonna go at the top here like that. We got everything supported on the bottom as far as the legs. Everything's good. I mean, I can get up here and stand on this, as you can see, and it's sturdy. So if it can hold me, it can definitely hold a goat. But anyways, we got everything supported. So now for the head gate, let me set the camera down so I can show you guys. The head gate is going to be something there we go. Alright, so as far as the head gate, what we're going to do now is I'm going to have to cut new pieces for this part that are a little bit longer than what I have here, but one piece is basically going to go mounted like that, and the other piece we're going to drill a hole through here and through the 2x4 and through the piece of wood behind it, and we're going to put a bolt in there basically so that it'll be like this, and it'll be able to swivel back and forth so that when the goat, don't laugh at me, but I am going to crawl up in this thing, but when the goat puts its head in like this, we'll be able to close this on its neck, and then it can't go anywhere. It's not going to be able to leave and run off on us when we're trying to work them, when we're trying to, you know, milk them, give them medications, dewormer shots, whatever, trim their hooves. This is just a really good tool if you're raising goats, to be able to hold your goats still, to make it easier on you. Alright, so I'm going to pause for a second because I didn't explain this part. Basically all I did was I cut a 60-degree angle cut here on this second piece of 2x4. Reason why is because when it's in here and it opens, I want it to have enough room to open like that so that the excess here doesn't cut off from it or anything like that. So it'll be able to go like this. We'll screw that bottom part in and then it'll close like that. Alright guys, so this part I kind of had a little trouble with, which isn't a big deal because I can always remove these two pieces of 2x4 and redo it. As you heard my beautiful loved girlfriend earlier mention, we are having a date night tonight, so we are gonna be wrapping this up. We pretty much got it done though. I mean, I'm happy with it. It's gonna work for now. We're about to just go get some feed real quick. What I did here at the end too, I just made a little area to put a little feed bucket. That way we can use feed to kind of entice the goats to come up in this thing. And then once they crawl up in there and start eating the feed, here's the idea. We'll have this open, have some feed, guide them kind of around the back to hop up to come in here. And then once they are in there, we'll close this, lock it up on them. We're gonna get a little latch for right here, a little hook, and they'll be locked in there so that we can actually work them and get some stuff done for them. So we're gonna go get some feed. We're gonna at least test this thing out before we go get showers and get ready for our little date night tonight. Alright guys, so as you can see, these are the baby goats. So I'm probably, like I said, am gonna have to adjust this to make it a little bit bigger for older goats, for the bigger ones. But as you can see now, I'm also gonna have to put a little lock on this top part, which I have the parts for. I just need to do it, but like I said, we got places to be. So but anyways, we put the feed there. It'll entice them to come in, and then while they're here, obviously this is a baby goat, but when it's an older goat, we'll be able to go ahead and milk them. If we need to do things like trim their hooves, we can do that, and they wouldn't be able to get it. Well, she just unopened it because I didn't have a latch, but they won't be able to get out ideally, and then we can work them and get some stuff done. So let me see if I can get her back up here. Come on, look. Oh, the other one's coming in. So there we go. So she's in there, and then again we can lock her up and she won't be able to get out of there now. That way when we're working the goats, they are secured and won't run off on us. It makes it a lot easier for us to do our job. Go as planned, but as you can see, once we eventually put a lock up here, a little latch, it will stay closed, and then the goats will be distracted so that we can do things like, you know, I can get back here and trim their hooves, and see she's trying to back up but she can't get her head out of there, so she's gonna be locked in there. Alright guys, well there it is, and I am gonna have to just tweak this top, you know, head gate part a little bit. I still got to add a little latch onto it, and what I'm probably gonna do is make it taller because I want to make sure that we have enough space to fit Winston and some of the bigger goats in there when they do grow up and get bigger. Alright guys, so there's pretty much the finished product, and I did adjust the head gate like I mentioned I was going to do. I put a hook up there to hold it closed, but I made the hole, the head hole, a little bit too big for the smaller goats like Lady. So all I did was make this piece here to where it's like an extra lock, and this bolt isn't in there tight, you know, it'll come out. So that way we can actually lift this up and let them out of there. But it's just a different little piece that I added on there for the smaller goats like her and like the babies and stuff like that. But as you can see, we can now get there and do things like milk the goat, and they won't be able to move on us. And then the reason why I put the railing on this side was just so that they can't swing out that way or anything. And then this side obviously is going to be open so that we have the room to work on them. But that is it. And as you can see, she's not going to go anywhere on us. We can get back here, check their hooves, do all whatever we got to do. We can kind of, she's here secure, so we could do things like check her eyes, making sure she doesn't need like warmer and stuff like that. But there it is. That is the goat milking stand, goat stanchion, whatever you want to call it. That is what we made today. Only thing that I'm gonna do is maybe tweak this head gate part, make it a little bit taller. That way we can actually fit the older goats, some of the bigger goats like Winston in there, and not only use it for milking but also use it to be able to give the goats medications, give them, you know, you know, hoof trimmings, whatever we need to do for the goats, we can get it done on this stand. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you go down there and subscribe, like the video, and other than that, we'll see you next time.